going to talk about Doctor Who now, because the storyline may be confidential, but it's no secret. It's the season finale of Doctor Who tomorrow night.
Freema Agyeman is here. Good morning.
Morning.
Now, we left the Doctor regenerating last week. Does that mean there's a new Doctor on the way?
Oh, this has generated quite a lot of speculation, hasn't it? I'm so chuffed that actually it's got people so buzzing, because it's so rare that we get to, you know, for something like that to just unfold on the night and everyone to just go, oh my goodness, without having read about it.
We're going to talk about it in just a moment. First, though...
Yes, here's a look at what's happening where you are.
Stay with us. Welcome back. If there's a Doctor Who fan in your house, then you'll know they can't wait for the explosive series finale on BBC One tomorrow night. The episode is shrouded in secrecy. Fans are eagerly anticipating the fate of the Time Lord.
Yes, the Doctor's past 3 companions continue to try and save him from the evil scientist Davros. Freema, you must get so tired of people asking, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
It's interesting that people always do want to know what's going to happen, but it's just so exciting to once in a while not know, I think, and just be surprised.
And they've done well to keep it secret, because genuinely, no one knows, do they? No one, well, you know, but...
Yeah, the thing is, I think this is the first time, though, that nobody, maybe saving Russell and a few, have seen the complete episode 13. I haven't seen it. No one in the press has seen it. Usually, you know, people have seen it.
So, because it must be quite nerve-wracking to come on a news programme a day before and know you're going to get asked, do we stick with this Doctor or is it time for a new Doctor? And be kind of, am I going to say, I can't let it out. But I suppose if you're not shown and you don't know, then at least you can be confident and you can say, actually, I don't know.
Well, actually, I kept that philosophy for a while, because when I was doing the main bulk of press for this series, I didn't read episode... I mean, we'd been sent episode 13, but I didn't read it because I did think that, you know, if I don't know, I genuinely can't say.
But you have read it now.
But now I've read it, we've filmed it, I do know, but I'm still going to not let any cats out of bag.
Well, let's give you a moment, and we'll come back with some more questions about it in just a second. But here's a clip. I think this is you in trouble. Let's have a look.
Put it on. Fast as you can.
Martha, I'm telling you, don't use Project Indigo. It's not safe.
You take your orders from Unit, Dr. Jones, not from Torchwood.
But why me?
You're our only hope of finding the Doctor. But failing that, if no help is coming, then with the power invested in me by the Unified Intelligence Task Force, I authorize you to take this, the Osterhaken key.
I can't take that, sir.
You know what to do. For the sake of the human race. Dr. Jones, good luck.
Exterminate!
Bye, Jack.
Martha, don't do it!
Oh, and you did do it. And the point, you know, that was from last weekend's episode.
Yeah.
Because we can't show any little bits of this weekend's episode because we
okay.
just, you know, can't give anything away.
Do you know, when we were at the read-through, just going through page after page, we'd have to keep pausing because people were just roaring and laughing and gasping and crying, and it was the most dramatic read-through we've ever had.
Wow.
And it was so special being involved in that, and I do sometimes just have to sit back and ponder the phenomenon that is Doctor Who, because it's just huge, isn't it?
In the event of David Tennant not carrying on, were that to be a possible option, got any thoughts about who would make a good Doctor Who by way of replacement? Entirely,
we're not going to look at us. We're talking about replacing David. Do you know, he's always said that from the beginning of when he took the job, the next question was, so when are you leaving? You know, he's been asked that from the very beginning, and he's been just tremendous, hasn't he? But I would say, if I had to, I've said this somewhere once before, but I don't know if it's trickled out, but I think Russell T Davies would make an an amazing doctor.
What an interesting
What qualities does he have that would... I mean, clearly he can write brilliantly, but I mean...
He knows the character absolutely inside out. He's very, very tall and formidable looking. He's very quirky. He's very dark. I just think he's, you know, he would be a perfect choice.
Or perhaps it might be time for a woman. I mean, you know, that wouldn't be a Time Lord, that would be a Time Lady, but, you know,
yes.
This year, 2008. Anyway, the reason we're talking about who could possibly be the next Doctor is because we were left hanging at the end of last week. Take a look at this.
Here we go. Good luck, Doctor.
Will someone please tell me what's going on? When he's dying, his body, it repairs itself, it changes. But you can't.
I'm sorry. It's too late. I'm regenerating.
So we don't know if that's a very clever tease or whether, in fact, we get a new Doctor this
It's
weekend.
so exciting.
Yeah. Can I ask you about the Daleks?
Yes.
Because, you know, they've effectively taken over the world, haven't they,
Yeah.
at this particular point.
Absolutely.
Are they kind of... Do they make you scared? Do you find them frightening?
I understand in the story and the world of Who, they're very frightening. But when I watched it growing up, I only watched it towards the end of the series before it was going off the air. So it wasn't sort of prevalent throughout my whole childhood. And I remember watching it with my mum and my sister and not being terrified. I think if you had that feeling as a child, you know, something carries through today when you see them. I think they're a genius breed, but you know.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about the rivalry between the assistants?
Yeah.
Because there you were. Well, there's three of you, isn't there? All three in the same show.
Yes.
Was there a bit of? Did it get a bit?
With the characters,
You know,
or
I mean, there's,
the actors?
they just have you all have your different qualities, presumably. How would you characterise them? And what was the thing that was so different about your character than the other one? You know, how did it work?
Well, I think for the first time ever in this final episode, and there's a moment I'm particularly thinking of that you will see tomorrow, that everybody realises exactly how they form a team and why the Doctor needs them all in different ways because, you know, of the qualities that they do offer. They do all have different qualities, and he picks them, or, you know, decides to work and travel with these people because he sees something in them. So you know, in terms, and I'm sure that, well, we've seen how they all sort of react to each other already. I mean, Donna and Martha can see their qualities in each other. So. And I don't think we've seen in this episode Rose and Martha meet yet, but that's to come.
It is interesting, isn't it, how Russell T Davies at this stage of the series has started to bring all the strands together. Yeah. So, you know, Captain Jack and from Torchwood, and everything's come together in a way that they were all kept apart before, and that it's clever how that's all been worked in for the final.
Do you know
episode.
It absolutely is, and this episode's called Journey's End, and I think that Russell he's so tremendous, as we all know, at what he does, but he has just tied, as you said, all of those ends and goes out with a bang, if you like.
Can I ask you one question, just slightly off topic? I know you're listening with interest to what James was talking about earlier in connection with knife crime and incidents and stuff, and younger people giving their opinions now about what life is really like. What's your experience?
Gosh, well, it is, as we were saying sort of slightly earlier on, it's so universal that everyone has either been touched in some way, either personally or through, you know, the media. It is just so prevalent at the moment. There was an amazing drama on last night called Fallout, and it was so heartbreaking. It's important because these things need to be shown, and we need to understand how severe it is at the moment. But, you know, I just sat there thinking, this is really heartbreaking and really dark times, and I just think that we can all do something, and I don't quite know what that is at this point, but we all need to be doing something because it is kind of getting out of hand. Well, it is.
Freema, thanks ever so much for coming in to talk to us this morning. The final episode in this series of Doctor Who tomorrow, BBC One, 20 to 7.
Very exciting. The nation will be grinding to a halt. Large portion of it, anyway. Thank you very much.
Laughter and tears in equal measure. Freema, thanks very much.
Thank you.
That's all for today. Breakfast is with you across the weekend. Of course, on Monday, actor Hugh Bonneville will be here to talk about Bone Kickers. Have a lovely day. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.